everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net and it is Monday the 21st of October. Thanks again for watching. What a wet day today. There's been some really wet conditions out towards the west during the course of this morning, all courtesy of the positioning of the jet stream. And actually, if we look at these charts here, you'll see that the jet stream stays in position. This is the chart for the 7 to 10 day flow with the 500 millibar heights, the mean flow from the GFS on the right here, the ECMWF on the left, and these are valid from next Monday through till Thursday, Halloween on the 31st. Now, you notice that these keep this idea of a strong jet stream, look, just screaming in straight across the Atlantic on both sets of charts here. The GFS actually making much more of the idea of a deep trough feeding in here across the western parts of the country. So really are hinting that next week stays with this unsettled flow. What I find interesting though now at this time of year is as we start to see the North Pole cooling off, which of course it's been doing now for several weeks, it's this idea of this cross-polar flow. Look, you see this pulling in this cold air, and what this is doing is constantly feeding in cold air into this trough here. GFS is far more pronounced. The ECMWF actually blocks it off, look, and brings the colder air into the States, deepening this trough out here, and then brings it back in across the northern parts of Europe, across the, well, I should say, around the Arctic Circle. But the GFS, and this is what I'm suspecting, I wonder if the GFS has got this right here, this idea of this cross-polar flow. Now, what that's doing as well is it's lowering temperatures up towards the north of the hemisphere, and I'll show you what I mean. This is the chart of mean temperatures, the anomaly of mean temperatures from the 1st of October through to the 9th of October. So it was the first 9 days of this month. And just notice here, look, how up towards the north here, look, most areas tended to be around or above normal temperature-wise. Now, take a look at the second 9 days. So this is the period from the 10th of October through to the 18th of October. And just look, you see that blue that's appeared here? Look how much cooler it's become. We've had this flow feeding in from the pole, and it's that has succeeded in lowering temperatures up towards the north of the British Isles. So just to show you again, there's the first 9 days, there's the second 9 days. Now, what this is interesting for, and the big question mark that this then raises, is what impact does it have on winter? Because if we've got a block of cold air again building up here towards the north, what is the impact of that going to be? Because if you've got warmer air here centred across Greenland, and you'll notice there it's across the States as well. So is there going to be a tendency for this block, this high block, to be in here and lower pressure to be somewhere down here? And what that would lead to is the north of the UK being in this cold easterly flow. If only I could draw properly. Let's get rid of that. So what that would do is it would lead to the north of the UK being in this cold easterly flow, the south of the UK at times coming into the west or the southwest into mild conditions. So we'd see this fluctuation of cold and warm conditions, generally leaning into the mild stuff, but occasionally this cold air breaking its way through and heading southwards through the country. And that's exactly what I've been trying to hint at in the winter forecast for you, to say it's not straightforward as far as winter is concerned, and it's just one that I think we need to be watching very carefully. But these charts are very interesting, and as I say, I think what we're going to find increasingly interesting is watching how this cross-polar flow up towards the north here, so we're looking within this sort of region, how this develops over the coming couple of weeks. That could set things up for the winter period. So certainly developments taking place, and of course as far as the jet stream is concerned, that means rain. This is the rainfall forecast from the GFS for the next week, and you notice here just how much rainfall there is. Look, I mean, this is bringing us rainfall totals of over 100 millimetres across western coast and hills. Far less towards the east, look typical of this west to southwesterly pattern. I also think probably what we need to be prepared for early next week is the risk of some very strong winds. Just a look at the Canadian, just look at the colours under there, that goes for the same thing, look, where it's got the heaviest of the rain out towards the west of the UK and in the west of Ireland. Hello to all our Irish viewers, by the way, I know there are many of you. And these again showing rainfall totals here of 100 millimetres plus. So that also showing us some heavy bursts of rain. As I say, I think what we also need to be watching out for into next week is the threat of some very strong winds. And in fact, the ECMWF was trying to hint at this. If we just go forwards, you'll see here, this is the ECMWF charts. This is for today. So this was the analysis as of last night. And if we just go forward in 24-hour steps, you notice it's dominated by low pressure, but it's this sort of thing coming across the Atlantic here that I think we need to be this sort of thing that we need to be wary of. ECMWF deepens them significantly, look, so that by the middle to the end stages of next week, some very deep features coming through. That's the chart for the 29th, which is Tuesday of next week. Look, puts low pressure, a deep area low pressure across Scotland. Notice how close together the ice bars are. But also, the other thing I want you to notice is this. See the ridge out there? What have I been telling you for how long now? Was it the last 10 days or so? That we could see a ridge building in towards the end of the month, perhaps only lasting for 2, 3, perhaps even 4 days. And there it is, look, building through the country according to the ECMWF. Remember though, the ECMWF wasn't showing us that cross-polar flow as clear as the GFS, and the result of that is that it then starts to deepen these lows off Greenland, and it moves the trough into this zone here, whereas actually the GFS, and I think probably the better solution, is to try and build the trough in here once that ridge has cleared away. So, plenty to be watching there on the charts, particularly up towards our north. Some very interesting developments now beginning to take place, and they're going to have a bearing on how we go into the winter. So, once again, thanks for watching weatherweb.net. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. You can follow us on Twitter at Weather School, or do a search on Facebook for Weather School as well. But for now, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.